Your number one hype gal here, and welcome to the weekly warm-up, your weekly dose to feel a little more confident and a lot more human. I'm Jess Rose McDowell, and each week I'll share life updates, mindset shifts, product faves, the little things that help me stay grounded, energized, and moving and grooving. Whether you're heading out for a jog, sipping your morning coffee, or just need a midweek pick-me-up, this is your warm-up for living a real balanced life. So take a breath, shake it out, and let's dive in. Welcome to the weekly warm-up podcast. I'm your host, Jess, and today we have a guest that is all the way, she lives in New York, but she's all the way in the West Coast in California. And that is my good friend, Ceren. And I'm saying it right because it's not Ceren, guys. And we will learn about that in a second. But welcome, girlfriend. Thank you for being here.
Oh my God. I'm so excited we're making this happen.
Me too, right? Yeah, we're getting it going. We have our
Yeah.
lives together. We're ready to move and groove.
We do.
We're going to dive in.
Let's do it. I'm pumped. I'm ready.
Well, I guess let's give the people what they want to hear. And that's just kind of give a little brief bio. Where are you from? Obviously, we already know that. Where you live, just a little breakdown, your career, all the things.
Of course. I know. I feel like you already told them where I live. So
Yeah.
I'm New York based. I am from I'm from LA originally. So just out here because it was raining in New York and I can't be bothered with that, as you know.
I love that. You're the best when it comes. You just leave when you want to.
I can't. Yeah, whatever I want, I do. That's actually that is how I should enjoy myself.
Yes.
But yeah, I work in tech full time. So like the 9 to 5, if you want to call it that. I work in advertising. And then aside from that, I also work for ALO. So I do community events. So basically my job is to build community around New York. Was doing that in LA before. I'm also on their ALO Moves, which is now called ALO Wellness program. So I launched a running series and there is another one coming out next year. And then I also teach fitness. So anything you can think of at Equinox, yoga, weight training, all the fun things, whatever gets your body moving. I think that keeps me pretty busy. And then sometimes I do some influencing for fun,
I was gonna say, don't cancel out content and influencing because you're
No,
definitely on.
yes.
You're considered. You're considered one. Okay, you're considered an
Yeah,
influencer.
I'll take it.
So, how did you
Yes.
get into the tech world? I mean, advertising, yes, but how did you decide to be in
Yeah.
tech? And I mean, that's a very male-dominated field.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly studied supply chain in college, which like not doing any of it now, but I know,
Nerd.
right? Like, but it was really hot. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I did it for about 2 years out of college at Amazon and then was like, this isn't really for me. And then, as I always do, I got up and left the country and I moved to Madrid for a bit and then was like, let me go back and make some more money. So went back and found my way in tech again. And I think what I like about tech is I do, as much as I do things that are inconsistent in my life, that is the one consistent thing. Does that make sense? Like in
Yeah.
terms of, whether it be pay, whether it be, going and doing the job that you're good at, it provides some sort of structure into my life. So that is a part I enjoy about tech. But when I got into it, I really didn't even know, like, what did tech even mean a decade ago, right? Like, what
Yeah.
I feel like we just thought,
Wasn't
like,
even it
yeah,
was just starting to become a thing. People getting tech jobs, you were like,
right,
what? Like, oh, is that someone behind a desk like coding websites or doing, like
right.
HTML stuff? It was or
Do
like
you work at
cracking in.
Apple? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You worked at Apple.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like thinking of the person at Apple, like figuring out our phones and how it works.
Yeah, exactly. Or
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
Geek Squad, from like Best Buy.
Wait, I used to go to them all the time. Did you not? I did.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, I just had to wait. This is
Fun.
sweet love right here. I had to the
Stop.
fact that he's laying
Wait,
like
this is.
this and this I don't he must be having some motherly instinct because sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. He doesn't like to cuddle. He's not
Oh
a
my God,
cuddle. He's
no.
very stubborn, so this is
Wait,
cute.
are you kidding?
I
And
know
like
I
this,
love you,
he's
bud.
being so perfect.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he
Don't say
heard.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So in tech, before we go on to all the fun stuff of wellness and fitness
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
all that stuff, explain your day to day. Obviously, are you hybrid or are you
Yeah.
all remote?
Totally. I work with all the fun clients we have. So I would say it's really highlighted in digital media sales. So client management relationship, campaign strategy, revenue growth, right? So I basically work on how I can bring more revenue to the company at the end of the day, but
Hmm.
doing that in strategic ways, right? So I really focus on what is going to capture the attention of the consumer. And then how can I get them to spend more money on, the company that I work for through the incremental revenue that we bring in. So with the different ad products that we have, right? So it's
Mhm.
a lot of upselling, cross selling to different agencies, to different clients to make sure, I'm creating like a creative account campaign that like fits the client, and then B also helps us at the end of the day. So day to day, I mean, I'm talking to clients like all the time, but also there's
Yeah.
like internal meetings, optimizing operations. There's a lot of analytical things that go into it. It's not always ad related, right? But most of my time is spent also on making presentations, right? Like communicating to different internal stakeholders.
Mhm. Wow. That's amazing. Good for you. I love that. I
Yeah.
mean, and
Thank
it's
you.
just, I feel like something about you is, I mean, not that you don't talk about it, you talk about it, but you don't talk yourself up enough about it, And I mean, that's
Thank
yeah.
you.
Well, no, and it's not something
That's
that
really sweet.
everybody just does, if that makes sense. I mean, in New York, yeah, maybe because in New York,
Yeah.
everyone's moving and grooving and bebopping. Here, in Miami, it's a little different.
Right, right.
There's this whole other realm to you aside from the fitness and
Yeah.
ALO and wellness that you have, which is great that you have those two different, dynamic.
Maybe I found that part of me not as interesting, but it is. Don't get me wrong. But I guess I
Yeah.
haven't found a way to like blend in all the different things that I
Yeah.
do.
I mean, I understand that. And it's also a level of not privacy, but a level of like respecting the clients and the job that you're in. And I get that.
Right. Yeah.
It's also such a bummer that today we idolize more about, I don't want to say like influencing and being goofy and silly or whatever, traveling and being
Yeah.
luxury and stuff.
Yeah.
And today now it's like
Yeah.
it's almost like you don't want to talk about it because no one cares about my job because it's not being an influencer or it's not
Right.
being in, some sort of,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess trending job.
I feel like corporate hustle too is like, I don't even like saying the word hustle really, because I feel
Yeah.
like it's referring to like a very intense pace, effort, and like
Yeah.
maneuvering people and putting them into this like environment where it's just about hard work, right?
Yeah.
And the grind, and you have to be politically savvy, and then you have to find ways to promote yourself and make sure your
Yeah.
contributions are visible, right? I find all of that actually really motivational, because that really, I mean, you and I were both ambitious people, right? So like I'm very adaptable to the different ways that I can work. So I know
Mhm.
that like this constant chasing, if you want to call it, I do enjoy that in my corporate life, because whether that
Yeah.
means a new role, a promotion, or recognition, like it drives me to be better at whatever I'm doing and be the best version
Mhm.
of myself. So I actually love this corporate version of myself.
Oh,
And
good.
like you said, I do like to keep it private because, it's already a very competitive and crowded environment. So how can I stand out and like just be locked in and be good at my job?
And that's good though. And then there's also that level of something where then it's like when people get to know you, they can get to know both, that other deeper side of you,
Yeah.
which I like a lot. And I think that
Yeah.
what you said about the hustle and the grind, oh my gosh, there's a beautiful rainbow. Sorry, ADD. Um,
Yeah.
but no, but like,
Miami.
yeah, right. But no, it's amazing. And I like the idea of, yeah, being in a corporate job, there's a lot of amazing benefits. There really is that people
Totally.
don't want to idolize or see. They just think that you're in a cubicle or you're in a 90s movie and you're not allowed to do anything or
Yeah.
you can't speak, you can't do this, you're just stuck
Right.
in front of
Right.
a computer and there's so much more to it. I mean, if you look at a lot of people that are in Forbes and a lot of people that are in, Bloomberg and all the business, like they're all from
Yeah.
corporations. It's not just these
100%.
new, Gen Z millennial jobs.
Right. And I think what we forget too is like there's a lot of great lessons that come from corporate. Like
Yeah.
hopefully one day I can do my own thing. Like I have some thoughts and integrations of like what I want to do. But I think like, the company I work at is global, right? So
Yeah.
I can do work with millions of customers and users. And I'm a part of a big visible, initiative. I love a career ladder with promotions and defined roles. I get it's not for everyone, but I like the formality of that, the mentorship, the exposure to senior leadership, right? And like, who doesn't want to make more money? I love stock. I love
Yeah.
a good salary.
Some of these other jobs that are like you get one lump sum, but that doesn't mean it's promised anytime soon. So you're living off of
Yeah.
that. So it's like if you want
Yeah.
to live large, but once it's gone, it's gone.
100%. And I
Yeah.
I feel like you and I are really good at this too, but like I'm always trying to put myself or like expose myself to like cutting edge tools, right? Like in strategies and markets. So like how am I always learning and like getting
Yeah.
feedback and helping myself become a better person through like cross-functional collaboration?
That's amazing. See, and I love the idea of the hybrid and the remote. I think that as far as corporate goes, has
Yeah,
really changed jobs in the corporate world because one, it's not only saving these
100%.
industries money by not having to house everybody in an
Yeah,
office, but it's better quality of life.
totally.
And they're realizing that people are working harder and better and they're more invested in these companies because they are having that quality of life. You need to have a break. You need to go out and
Right.
maybe go for a walk. That's life. Life isn't
Yeah.
about just living in like a box. That's what's really elevated corporate jobs.
100%. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, am I one to take a shower in the middle of the day between meetings? Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it works. But yeah, oh my gosh, are you kidding? I think that having that like flexibility over my own schedule and like that has helped with reducing burnout and the commuting stress, especially in New York,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Oh my gosh.
also, I think like this could be a hot topic, but like I choose to do better work at home because I am also focused in on the task. And
Yep.
then, I save my meetings for when I go into the office for collaboration. So that way, like I've devoted my time to knowing how I can be successful.
Yeah, absolutely. I am way more motivated and way more organized and wanting to be task oriented when I'm in my own space. And then, like you said, yeah, when it needs to be
Yeah,
more collaborative, of course, then in a more, business setting. But yeah, that's awesome.
totally. Hybrid setup can actually boost productivity because employees work where they're most effective. So it just
Yeah,
proves.
I love it. Proof is in the pudding, baby. Statistics.
It is.
Let's talk about your NYC life. I mean, I've been to New York, you
Oh my
know,
God.
lots of times and yeah, and
Yeah.
I don't know if I could ever live in New York. It's an
No.
intimidating no, you know why? I have to be by water. I also as much as I fantasize about being a city girl, I'm not. And I don't count Miami as a city. Miami is like these little suburbia areas. I don't know what Miami is, but Miami's
Right.
not a city to
Yeah.
me, at
We're
least.
all confused at what Miami is.
Exactly. And though Miami is trying desperately to become New York, it's never going to be. And I don't think
Yes.
it should ever try to
Yes.
be, which is because it needs to have
No.
the uniqueness of the Miami. To tell you
Agreed.
this,
Agreed.
but before we go on to New York life, you familiar with like downtown area, which is kind of like,
Yeah, yeah,
it's all
yeah.
right. They're trying to call that financial district.
Stop.
When I'm on
Are they
like
going to call it a fight eye?
no, yeah,
God.
right. On like, dating apps and stuff like that. And I was looking
Yeah.
and there's these guys that have put their, where they live and it
Oh,
says Miami and it's like,
no.
oh, in the financial district.
I'm cringing.
Yeah, exactly. Bro, like
Remove
you don't live in New York or downtown
Miami.
Miami. The financial
You
district is
don't.
literally like the grounds of this country.
Right. Right. I don't know if you knew, but it was like maybe one of the first things out.
Doesn't make
He
sense.
probably doesn't even work in finance.
No, no.
I would be
No.
shocked.
Yeah, like just leave downtown to downtown. Like we don't need to get fancy with it at all.
Okay, speaking of that, like people in New York are very particular about where you live. And I find it funny because like in LA, nobody really cares. Like you're either on the west side or you're like, I don't know. We're probably never gonna see each other again if you're not anywhere near me, right?
Yeah.
It's LA. It was like in Chelsea when I first got there and then I moved. But apparently I wasn't in Chelsea. I was in Flatiron. I don't know. So
Ooh, okay.
like
I
when the
like
Uber was
Flatiron
dropping me off,
though.
my same, I love it. I mean, I love my neighborhood, but
Mhm.
my girlfriend was like, "Oh yeah, you don't live in Chelsea. That's Flatiron." I was like, "Okay, what's the big difference? Like it's a block over." She's like,
Oh
"Well,
my.
people pay different rent." She literally said people pay different rents here. I was like, "So you're basically judging me based off of like the status of my rent of
But
where
not
I
even
live?"
that. Like, sorry, I'm being fiscally smart by not spending a 2,000 extra dollars, but I live a block over, so I'm still getting the better like
Right.
version of it. Yeah, no, I will submit
Right.
to you that
Yeah.
that's true. That New York is very much don't they call it the boroughs, right?
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're very particular on what area, what borough, what this, even sometimes like
Yep.
streets, just
Yep.
from the vibe that I get, which I don't, is that
Right.
something where it's a person that's from New York or that has been in New York for X amount of years? Or are these just people that are like literally from like Midwest United States and they're just acting like now they can say that they're from a
They're like from
neighborhood?
New York. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I honestly don't know that about New York either that well, but
Hmm.
I just know people will I mean, I always knew about New York, like people calling you out on, your bullshit, but like
Yeah,
also I just find it funny that like we're all just trying to get by in the city, right? Like we're all paying an
exactly.
X amount of rent. So there's no reason to make it seem like you're better than me because you live in Tribeca.
Yeah, exactly. No, and that's the thing too is New York, no matter where you are spending an exorbitant, what is it? Exuberant amount of money.
Yeah.
Exorbitant amount is, am I saying that right? Sorry, that's wrong. That now I'm going to be called like a
One of those
idiot.
words. Yeah.
Yeah, amount of money for explain that since we're talking about that. So what truly, like,
Yeah.
what is it actually like? Because I've never been in, these New York apartments that,
Yeah.
anyone like us, like on the day to day would live at. What is it
Yeah.
actually like? The
Yeah,
landlords,
yeah, yeah.
everything.
100%. And I think I want to say it's challenging and energizing. And rent is the biggest pressure, right? So, like, I mean, we're lucky, I would say. Like, I have a 2 bed, 2 bath, and like my
Hmm.
roommate is awesome. She's also from LA. Like, we live in a great area. I've never paid so much and gotten so less. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Is it
So in
defeating?
that
Like, does it
aspect, it's
feel?
well, yeah, because like
Yeah.
we're only getting older, right? Like we're not getting
Yeah.
younger, and then I'm also paying less rent,
Yeah.
and everyday expenses add up, right? Like my groceries, my dining, I mean, fitness, I have it covered, but like my transportation, even a coffee. Like, just why did I just pay $12 for a latte?
Yeah, that
Like,
no, that's what's crazy to me. I mean, everything is just absolutely insane.
right? And I mean, I have friends that like they live on one street and Whole Foods is like right across, but they'll still get it delivered. Like that blows my mind. They will not
No.
get out of their house to go. Yeah, no, I know.
But
I'm
is
like,
it
you guys are being
because
ridiculous.
yeah, is it because they don't wanna, like, carry it up the stairs because there's never elevators? Is there more to it, or they just are like, "I just don't wanna go and I'd rather just waste the money?"
No, they're just lazy.
I love the honesty, that's amazing.
Yes. I think it's like the reality of balance, you know what I mean? So like
Yeah,
I'm working long hours to afford the lifestyle, which can feel like a constant grind, right? So
yeah,
I have learned to live in a smaller place, but I've the I treat the city kind of like my living room. Does that make sense? Like I love going to Madison
yeah,
Square Park. That becomes my, sometimes I hotspot and co-work from there. And
yeah,
I have realized I've sacrificed a lot. The opportunities I've gotten, the energy that I feel, and the unmatched
yeah,
access I have to so many different things makes me want to stay there a little bit more. I don't know if it's a long term, for sure, probably not. And I am such a West Coast girly at heart. So
yeah.
yeah, let's see. Maybe we'll be
Well,
talking from LA again from a year from now.
ooh, I mean, I'm here for that. You know what? I've never been to California before. It's on my list. And the only reason why is because when I
What?
think, well, because I think about it, I'm like, okay, if in Florida, like, or in general, because I've always been on the Southeast. So whether I'm in, a
Yeah,
southern
yeah,
state or Florida, I'm like, okay, that's like a 5 to 6
yeah.
hour flight. 3 more hours, I'm in
Right.
Europe. I'd rather go to Europe. Does that make
No,
sense? Like,
I obviously does. That's the main reason I'm still in New York. Yes, yes,
but like, it's
100%.
so true. And
I don't blame you.
yeah, because I mean, it's not like
Yeah,
I've never had an opportunity. I mean, my mom loves it. She's a big wino, so like, Napa
totally.
Valley and all the places. Like, I think
Yeah,
she has like a beautiful pictures of the places
yeah.
that she's gone and stuff. I just need
Oh, I
to
love
like
that.
suck it up.
Right.
Yeah.
But we have In and Out. Don't you forget.
And
Or
I've never
better.
had that. So that's another reason why I have to go. I have to go for that. I've got to go for the
I
weather, the hiking, celebrity smoothies.
Smoothies.
Yeah.
Yes, you need to be at Erewhon. Just
Yeah.
I'm actually
It's
I feel like
coming
you
to
need to go with
Miami.
me, like to have the full experience. Yeah.
No, I
Oh my
would.
God,
No,
is it?
I'm pretty no, maybe Pop Up Bagels is what I saw. Pop Up Bagels is coming here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen Air One yet.
I
I'm not
saw
going to
that
be
too.
surprised that it would. I have a feeling that if Air One does come here, it will go on Miami Beach or something, like Bal Harbor
Did you
area.
see the Air One? They're opening in New York.
Yes, I did. I did. It's insane.
Yeah. And it's inside a members club, which costs $43,000.
So then, are they paying for the Air One at price?
I would hope so because I don't know. I can't imagine spending that much money at a members club and then on top of that paying for a smoothie when I
But
enter.
also, too, if I'm spending 42,000 at a members club, why am I having to go grocery shopping there? Like, why aren't you making me my food?
Right,
Okay,
every day.
get it for a grab and go, like that's great. But also, then if they're doing that, then
Right.
I better not be paying what you'd be paying off the street.
Well, I mean, I think about like a Soho House, right? Like we go,
Yeah.
I pay a membership fee, but I don't get like nothing is free.
Wait,
I
do
still have
you
to
like
pay for it when I get
being
in
a
there.
member at Soho House?
I think I've been a member for so long. Yes,
I'm contemplating
but
it
I
or not.
still really because is there other options in Miami? I don't know the other options.
Fiana, which I feel like is more family
Okay.
based. So I'm not
Okay.
sure about it. I've heard that it's, I don't want to say an older crowd, but like more like older
Okay.
married kind of vibe and stuff, which is not a problem. But like,
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
if that's
yeah,
my
yeah.
stage of life yet.
Sure.
There's, yeah, one hotel, which I think is pretty decent. The Shelbourne actually
Yeah.
just started
Love the
doing
one.
membership, but they don't have a spa.
You should go.
I know, I was thinking about
That's
that, like,
true. They are missing that.
yeah, and I think I think it's 7,000 a year to be a member there. Well, I know they're growing, but it's very boutique, but they don't have a spa, they don't have multiple pools, things like that, so it's just
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
I'd have to see. But a dad with
Um,
kids was hitting on me the day that after when I taught the class because I spent the night and then because the weather wasn't good on Friday,
yeah.
so after the class on Saturday, I went by the pool day and these two hot single dads were next
Yeah.
to me. But the one that I was possibly wanting to hit on, I overheard because they were like gossiping all day, which is hilarious about like girls. The one that hit on me was very much
Oh
gossiping.
my
But this is
god. Oh,
hilarious that the
cringe.
hot guy, the only reason why I didn't think about talking to him was because his name is Jess. And I was like, fuck, it's never going to work. You know, like it will
Wait,
never work.
no, no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
Because then
exactly.
would you be like, would
Jess
you think,
2.0.
would you have right, 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 right,
Yeah, no, I just think that he would always think about his ex in either good ways or bad ways. Who knows? You know, I just don't think it would ever work.
right, right.
But the one that I didn't really
Yeah,
want to hit on me started hitting on me. But the worst part about it was their
dead.
kids were running around just having popsicles, like they were hyper, like they were there. And it's like, dude, this is read the room. This is
Yeah,
not the time. Like, not the time.
right.
And
Like
I get, yeah. And
you're
they
with your
just
children.
exactly. Like I guess they just became members of the Shelbourne. Like I talked about the wellness event. He's like, oh yeah, I think I saw that in the email, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, great. He's asking me what I'm doing and like read the room. I've not asked you one question and you're not
Right, right.
stopping. This is more birth control than anything. Your kids are bouncing off the walls right now.
Like I could not be more turned off
Yeah,
actually.
I know I ended up leaving because it was around 4 or 5 in the day anyway. So I was like, you know what? I think this is my time to get the check.
Yeah.
Gotta
Right, right, right,
go.
right.
But anyways,
We're gonna
so
cut. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. You know, we're on the
Man,
topic. What's going on in New York?
boy. I
Yeah.
was just actually I just made a TikTok about like how annoyed I was about
Yeah.
this guy because I was like, "You know what? I'm just going to bitch about it, see how the rest of the world feels."
Yeah. It's fun doing that. I do it all the time.
No, it's the best. I actually just got interviewed by a girlfriend. She does like, you know, those interviews on the street,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
and she does like, what's the worst date you've been on? I was on a date with this guy. Like we actually met in a really cool way, blah blah blah. We met on an airplane and then we met
Okay.
up in person later.
Yeah.
And then we go on the date and we're like talking about each other's, you know, like things we don't like. And then he goes, "Yeah, I don't like girls that post on Instagram." Like,
Does he have Instagram?
do you know what he asked? Not even for my number. He asked for my Instagram when we first met.
Oh, no. He's shallow.
I'm like, "What? You need to work on yourself, babe."
But that means that's a huge insecurity.
I'm like, also, who cares what anybody posts? Like,
Yeah.
we're just out here living our
No.
lives.
That's a little controlling and that's weird. That's weird. Red flag. If you don't have social media, that's fine. Or if like you're not big into it, cool. That's fine. Like to each their own.
Sure.
What did you say to it?
Oh, interesting. And he goes, "But you're okay." He gave me permission.
Oh no, this isn't the first time he said that. Tell
And
me
I
you
was like,
end like did you
okay.
go
And
through
then
the whole entire date having to deal with that?
it got worse actually because I was like, okay, well, like, I mean, we were just like getting like done with our food, thankfully. So I was like, oh, and then my girlfriend called and then he was in the bathroom. So I was like, let me pick up,
Yeah.
talk to her. And then I saw him coming back. So I was like, oh, like, I'll call you back later. And he goes, oh, no, let me talk to her. Okay. So I hand over the phone. And then my girlfriend's very like, so why are you on a date with my friend? Like, what do you have to offer her? You know,
Yeah.
like very
Yeah.
to the point. She was actually at my birthday. So you met her. And he goes, I don't have to prove anything to you. You don't have to like me. Who cares if you like me? To her on the phone in front of me.
Oh, goodbye. Wow.
Yeah.
Guys just have no it's tough out there, man. It is tough out there. It's like
Mm-hmm.
I've just admitted, I mean not admitted, I've just accepted that like, you know what, I'm just gonna hustle, like make my own money, do my own thing and
Hell yeah.
have dog.
Hell yeah.
Have dog. Have a dog. Have dog. Have dog.
Which is right there. Yes.
Yeah.
Have dog. Be with dog. Yeah.
Well, yeah, be with dog. I
Yeah.
love dog.
Yes. Correct. Correct.
Wait, so
Yep. Yep.
what did she say? What did you say?
She literally was like, I think I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'll call you later. He's like, why are you saying sorry? I was like, well, that was kind of a rude response. He was like, I don't think there was anything rude.
Where's this
And
wait, where was he from? How old is he?
dude, this guy is 31 years old.
Loser. Yeah, just a child.
Like,
Just a man child or
loser.
boy child or whatever you call it. Yeah.
I'm
Wow.
just, and I was like, I actually have to go, like right now. Didn't
Yeah.
even wait for the check. I was like, see
No.
ya.
Absolutely. No,
Yeah,
that type of person
I
does
left.
not deserve any more 1 ounce of breath from you.
But I'm just like, how did he think this was okay? You know, like I look back and every girlfriend I've told this to, they're like, what the fuck?
It's honestly one of those things where when you have those types of dates, you almost think to yourself, how is this a functioning person? Now, because
Yeah.
in your industry, like not with the fitness and stuff, I mean, because I'm sure you could meet a lot of people with that, but like
Yeah.
not everybody's down to like, I personally don't want to be with somebody in the fitness industry. It's just never been my thing. Or like I'm not trying to
Yeah.
I don't expect somebody to want to love, what I do all the time. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Do
I
you
actually like
find
the space as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that. And having similar interests is great. Respecting your body and being healthy and stuff. Do you
Yeah.
find that you're gearing more towards like the finance, corporate guys, or are you on more of the other end of the spectrum?
The fitness.
Yeah.
I think like having dated both have different, very different personalities, right? I guess going back to what I said earlier about like having consistency, I like that in a man and I like that in my job. I think like in fitness, it's so hard to find, right? Cause like, yeah, sure, I teach like 3 times a week with the classes that I have, but then I'll sub some, right? So like that lifestyle is fun for me. I don't think I could date someone with that lifestyle. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I
No, I
need
get that.
someone,
Yeah.
yeah. So I need someone that's like consistent and understanding of like my ambiguous lifestyle.
Yeah. Would you ever consider long distance relationship at all? Like not for long term, but like for a little bit
Uh,
or at least to start?
I don't know. I think that's tough. Usually because like the foundation of a relationship is like for me at least it's time, presence, and shared experiences, right? Sometimes there could be communication barriers, maybe time zone and logistics, there's emotional
Yeah.
strains, style differences. So I think you're essentially living like parallel lives with fewer shared experiences. And I think the whole point of a relationship for me is to have those shared experiences. So I don't think it's for me. How about you?
Yes and no. Yes, because I like the idea of not the love bombing phase where then you don't know if like you're
Yeah,
actually that's your person or if it's just because you're spending too much
totally.
time. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
And I like the idea too of maybe immerse each other into each other's worlds with the travel and stuff. Obviously, it not being across the
Yeah.
world. I like it. But then, of course, there is that downfall of, again, like you said, communication barrier. And then, getting to know each other
Mhm.
because you have busy schedules. It's not like you can always go and travel to see the person. That's even worth
Yeah.
it. I like the idea if it's meant to happen. I've thought about it a lot. I think with my last relationship that I was in that was long term and we ended up moving from one city to another and lived together and stuff, it happened very
Yeah.
fast. And obviously, we were younger, so it's different. And I mean, I do think at my, like, not at my age, I'm not ancient, but like at 35, like, I do think that whoever I end up
Yeah.
really truly wanting to marry will be together for maybe like a year and then get married. Like, I don't think it's going to be a long time of dating,
Yeah.
but I definitely don't want to
Sure.
rush like I did last time. And so that's why I always think
Yeah.
maybe a long distance would be good, but I don't
I also think couples who make it work, like with long distance, I feel like usually build like exceptional trust, right? And like they have
Yeah.
great communication skills and a lot of like resilience, right? That's why I think
Yeah.
when the distance ends, like they become even stronger. Like with anything, it takes the right person to do it with.
Yeah,
So it has to be a
absolutely.
very special person.
Are you on
Oh my
Raya and
gosh.
Hinge or are you just on one or all of them?
I'm
Are you on
actually
more?
on I'm
Not on
on
any?
like none right now. I'm
I
on
love
none. Yeah.
that.
I oh, thank you. I'm really on a cleanse. I was telling you.
Yeah, wait, tell me about that
I
too.
was on
Wait, what's going
Raya.
on?
I honestly I suggest this to everyone, but like once a year, I'll go on like a full cleanse of like no social media. I just deactivate everything. It's I mean, for the last 3 years, I've done it around this time. It doesn't always have to be around this time, but I think like
Mhm.
for me, honestly, September is an even more transition than January 1st because that's I live for summer. Like I am the peak of myself in summer. I am
Mm.
like, nobody bother me. It's the best time of my life. And then I come back and it's like I'm coming back to school and coming back to work. So it is a stressful time for me. And I just don't need more extra stressors added on. And,
Yeah,
at the end of the day, social media can be a stressful thing, especially like
yeah.
in our lives. So, and
It's
right now with the
draining.
news and everything, it's draining. It's very draining and overwhelming. Yeah, that's kind of why I did it. Again, I highly recommend it to everyone. I understand sometimes it's harder to do and you can't do it for work reasons, but I'm honest, I feel great.
Good. I'm glad. That's so amazing. I mean, not a lot of people can actually
Yeah.
follow through with it. And they'll say they're going to take a
Yeah.
cleanse, and then it's like 12 hours later, they're posting a story, and it's like, what the fuck? Yeah.
What?
But I mean, good for you for
It's
like listening to
yeah.
your mental health and listening to your body. And
Thank
setting those
you.
boundaries because I'm not going to lie, I don't think I'm not strong to do it.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, I feel like it also has added a fresh perspective. So maybe think about it this way, like stepping away has helped me like reset habits. And I know you're big into that, like
Hmm.
rethinking my priorities and then like figuring out if social media adds or drains my value, right? Now, when I go back on, I set tighter boundaries so I don't miss those things, right?
The way that I would think about it, and I have, like, even if it's a week, let's say, we don't have to go
Yeah.
full,
Yeah.
detox or like deactivating and stuff, but, baby steps.
Totally.
I guess for me, because where I'm at, where I'm building and I'm growing, it's not the most ideal thing to do, if that makes sense, to be able to like shut
Totally.
off.
Totally.
But that being said, I am thinking about it more as far as, and I talked about this on a recent episode of my podcast plug
Yeah.
always, but about just like my level of like creativity and how it's nice to kind of take a step back because then I can get those creative juices flowing, whether it's content related, whether it's for the podcast, my
Yeah.
personal life, jobs, things like
Yep.
that. So like I'm thinking about maybe doing it where I do long weekends or, maybe doing a week
Yeah.
where I'm active on social media. So I'm still being present, but maybe I'm not posting. Maybe I'm just sharing a couple
Mm-hmm.
stories or following through with any type of, obligations I have that I need to post on, but that's it. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
will probably pick
100%.
your brain a little bit more on that.
And absolutely. I think, for me, it was like without the constant scrolling and like I feel so much more present, right? With like my family, my friends. I think there's always also like so many shallow digital connections. Like, why am I caring about someone's life that I don't even know? Right. So, like,
Yeah, there is probably a 1% chance I'm ever going to have a conversation with this person.
exactly. And you're like, why do I care?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I really wanted to make increased investment in like meaningful offline relationships, at least during this time. I'm like starting a new project. So, like, focusing on that and like my productivity
Mhm.
because social media is designed to be, addictive. It pulls away from your work, your hobbies, your deep focus. So,
Mhm.
I think deactivating at least helps me remove the temptation, so it frees up more mind to get my real world connections going.
I love that. Good for you. I'm very proud. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Even though I miss you because I love you on social media and I love saying hi and that's kind of how we
Thank
like.
you. That's how we started this. I
Yeah.
listen, I think it's also very beneficial. I met some of my best friends on it. That's why it's temporary,
Yeah, yeah,
just a
yeah.
little break. It's so funny. We talked about social media being an addiction, but I also think like I definitely had a time and maybe you could relate where like fitness was my addiction, right? Like
Mhm.
I was working out every day, twice a day, most times, and like looking at my body being like, what am I doing to it?
Mhm.
Played college soccer growing up. So after I got injured my junior year, I couldn't play anymore, which, to a junior in college, it's like your world ending because you think you're going to
Yeah.
go like professional and whatnot.
Yeah.
Tore my ACL. Yeah. I played at Arizona State. And then I think when you train something for your whole life and then you have nothing to do with sports after, you're like, there's a big part of you missing, honestly. It's kind of like grieving.
Yeah.
And I needed something to like reduce that stress and like keep my mood stable because I was constantly in anxiety of like, what am I going to do next? Like, I can't run. I don't want to say depressed, but I really was in a low point of life. My mom and I like were going to yoga classes and then she was like, oh, you should get certified. It seems like you're pretty good at this. And so it's 2017. And have you been to Core Power?
I've been once, I think.
I feel like it's like probably the most known nationwide like yoga
Yeah,
studio.
franchise, yeah.
Yes. But yeah, I got certified there back in 2017 and then started teaching sculpt, which was like my favorite thing.
Love sculpt.
And it
That's
really
my favorite thing to teach
provided me
too.
I know,
Like sculpt hit.
we love
Like,
a sculpt moment and it just brought my confidence back up, honestly, like built my self-esteem again. It built me resilience. So yeah, started teaching that back in LA, obviously working on my running. Then I think like different stages in life. So like I was teaching yoga for a bit. And then in 2019, I discovered berries and then went into more like back into, I guess, more strength and resistance training. So,
mhm.
and endurance. So started teaching at berries and then fell back in love with running again. And that's kind of where ALO found me because they were like taking my classes. I was just talking to them about like how I can improve my stamina and then, making everyday tasks for some people that work there to, different training schedules for them to kind of help them understand like where they could improve basically.
Yeah.
So from there, we launched the ALO Run Club and then launched on ALO Moves, which now we said is ALO Wellness,
Which
which
is
has
where
been
I met
so
you, which
fun.
was the
It's
launch of the runners
yes,
for Aloe, which was
yes,
awesome.
a
And
year
then
ago.
I know, and
I
then we
know.
hosted the run together. What, like, not, I don't know. that's not a year ago, but
In May.
yeah,
No,
wow.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was just a few months ago. I
Yeah.
know.
So
It's so
amazing.
fun. Yeah, it's always just been a part of my life, right? Like it's never
Yeah.
not. So I couldn't imagine without it. And if I ever have kids, like they 100% will be playing sports because the community and
Yes.
like the self belonging that you feel, I've never found it anywhere else.
Yeah, no, truly. And also too, it
Yeah.
builds character, it builds leadership to not get your ass kicked. The conditioning,
Right.
having a coach
Yeah.
not always treat you warm and fuzzy. Unfortunately, we are living in a world where there's participation
Yeah.
medals. Not everyone's a winner,
Right.
and in the nicest way possible. So I
No.
think it teaches a lot of
Totally.
character
Totally.
for just everyday life and as you get older and dealing with people.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, this took me a long time to learn, but like fitness isn't just about looking good, right? And I think to
Mm-mm.
this day, there's still people that have that idea and
Yeah.
it makes me sad, right? Because truly, like it's about living better and longer and with more joy and energy. And I think it took me a long time to realize that, unfortunately. But I mean, everybody unfortunately has some sort of body.
Dysmorphia.
I don't want to say issues, but something dysmorphia, right? Like something they don't like about their body.
I still today have to remind myself to recover as much as I take
Yeah,
pride in it. All the different things that I'm doing, I find that I'm like, well, I can't slow down and take a rest day. On my rest days, I feel grimy and gross and not good, but that's psychological, not what
it's
people are
all
perceiving me as.
psychological.
I think it just comes and goes with, especially for somebody that like us that's in the industry to take a break and
Yeah.
understand that there's a difference between, healthy fitness, it becoming, like you said, a body dysmorphia issue.
Totally. And I think going back to that addiction piece, like the psychological side of it, like you and I were in such like training grooves, right? Like you're always training for something. I feel like I have a marathon coming up next year, right? Like stopping just feels like breaking the rhythm. I equivalate resting to laziness. I'm
But
just
that was
like,
also
no, this is a
instilled into our
critical part of the
bodies
progress.
or into our minds. Resting is laziness. And I think that also comes with a little bit of our generation, maybe from our parents' generation that was kind of passed on to us a bit. Now, as we
Totally.
become parents and with Gen Z, that's changed. But I do find, I mean,
Yeah.
because, my mom was raised in a very strict household and with land and a farm, and you don't have a rot day. Like, what's a rot day? Like, what it is it's kind of been passed down to us, so we're like teetering on that.
Yeah. I think like the reality check we all need to have is rest days are training days.
Ooh, wait, girl. Okay, we're gonna trademark that. So if anyone uses that, you got that off of the weekly warm up
I
podcast
said it.
with
I,
Dren right here, and it's
yep,
nobody
right here.
else's
I
right
said it.
here. Yeah,
Yeah, rest days are training days.
yeah. Period. Do you have an ultimate goal that you would really like to achieve or get to?
I think right now, like I'm actually looking to get, so I have a few certifications. I don't have Pilates. So like that's my next goal.
Hmm.
But I think once I have that, I feel pretty well rounded, honestly, like with running
Yeah,
and then NASM and with training, weightlifting and training.
yeah.
Pilates is something that I've grown to slowly love. It's been a slow journey, but
Hmm.
I've learned to respect it. I don't know how long I'm going to continue doing it for, right? Like I know I love it, but I don't think it's ever going to be something I do like I just do fitness, right? Like it's
Yeah.
always going to be something that I do as a passion. And I think that's what keeps it as a passion. Yeah, I guess to answer that question, I don't know. I don't know if there's like an end per se, but for now, I love building the community. I love bringing people together that like
Hmm.
they can come together and realize that like this is such a lovely thing we get to do and share.
Yeah.
I mean, the social and lifestyle benefits alone are just amazing. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
We need to, maybe the goal should be that here goes everything. There we go. There we go.
Here we go. Oh, welcome, we're back.
You, you going to make it? I know you're getting frustrated. This is like
So
his, like,
close.
we're getting there. Okay. Relax. Okay.
He
Great.
says
Thank
yes.
you for asking that question. But no, I was saying is in the new year, because obviously now we're starting to get into the busy times in Q4 and then we have the
Right,
holidays.
right. Oh my
But we
goodness.
should plan to do a wellness event here in the new year. That would be so much fun. See
Wait,
ya.
at the Shelbourne.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Oh my god,
That'd be so much
we need to
fun.
do this.
Yeah.
I just got so see, like stuff like this excites me so much. So I
Exactly.
truly don't think I'm gonna give it up, but maybe I do it less. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I
I
mean, and you
love
don't
that.
have to give it up. Maybe you
No,
don't always teach as much as far as, stedy classes go, because one thing for
yeah,
me is like, I don't obviously teach at a studio or fitness facility or gym. I mean, obviously I'm in, the private club spectrum, but I'm more of operations with
yeah,
being a director and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that's just how I like to do it these days. I don't want to commit to a studio just because of my time and what I'm doing and my goals are. But I love the idea of that I host
Totally.
these wellness events. And then obviously, with Fabletics, with the run
Yes.
club and stuff. But I like it that
Yeah.
it's very niche when you do
Yep.
the wellness events because I don't teach anywhere. It's like you bring in more people, if that makes sense. And I like that. So
100%.
we need to do some more stuff like that.
I would absolutely. And Art Basel's coming up. So many things to.
Yeah.
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 Are you
Yeah. Yeah.
coming
Yeah.
down for it?
I am. I am. We're gonna
Okay. I'm
do.
gonna have to see you then.
We're gonna do another aloe thing. Obviously, I know. We're gonna have to plan it better than last year. I feel like last year was just so like, what's happening?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I know Art Basel here is like the thing and everybody and everyone goes and you're a loser if you don't. I don't mind it. I like it. Like
Oh my God, stop.
I just can't go out late, and that's my problem. Like everything here starts at
Yeah.
12 p.m. Even on my days off where I'm doing nothing, I still don't want to do that. The daytime
No,
activities is where I'm at.
Basel's also turned into more of like a activations and events more than,
Absolutely. Yeah, it really is. They
I
have a
mean, there
lot
are people
more.
going for the art too.
Well, there's art. What?
Did you know?
So
Did you know?
that's the main thing of Miami. Like when F1 comes or like, boat week or
Oh
anything or yacht week,
God,
whatever, it's
yeah.
like nothing in Miami is actually what is. So if it says it in the name,
Right.
don't think that that's it. It's just a party. It's an excuse to
It's a big
literally
party.
for like 5 days.
Yep.
That's what it is.
Yep.
Talk about mental health. I know we kind of mentioned it here and there. Where would you say you are with mental health?
A few different things, especially, and I want to tie this into like wellness becoming so popular. Because I feel like you and I have been in the sector for a while now. But one, I love that like it's becoming so popular to talk about wellness and mental health. I do think that like talking about it more has shown that, it helps with your sleep, your nutrition, your movement, directly affected with, longevity and mental health. And
Hmm.
I will say, I think right now, at least, I'm at a place where I think and I feel and I'm connecting with people very intellectually. And what I mean by that is like, I'm processing what people are saying. I'm making decisions based on like how it's affecting me, how I'm aware of like what's happening around me and solving problems. So I feel so good about where I am today. And I feel very influenced by that through like my motivation, my focus, my energy. And I carry that to, my work, my fitness, my relationships. A year ago, I literally was crumbling. Like when we first met, I had just moved back to America. I was traveling all around the world. I was so anxious, so stressed. I literally had physical symptoms. Like I had sleep issues and headaches. I have had to adapt without breaking down. And then from there, build my mental health back up again.
To even talk about how you did have a lot going on and there was a lot of change
Yeah.
happening and unknown, and to see crazy that like it's been a year and now we're doing the pod and all, to just see where you've
Yeah.
come and all the things that
Yeah.
you're doing and the travel that you've been on and the people that you've met and the people you've introduced me to just seem like you've really kind of
Yeah.
fallen into place, which also kind of goes into being in your 30s. That's kind of what ends up happening, and it's so exciting, and
You did say
your
that. Yeah.
20s, yeah, like your 20s are where you kind of are a mess and you're figuring things out and you think you might like this and you don't. But like your
100%.
30s is where you really start to just evolve and find out
Yeah.
who you are as a person, which is kind of magical to say the least.
We celebrated my 30th together. So you remember that?
Hmm.
I really was so excited to turn 30. There was not a part of me that was like, oh my God, I'm so stressed. I'm so overwhelmed. Like, I just wanted to feel emotionally stable. And I do. And it's
Yeah.
pretty great.
Yeah. Yeah. It is, isn't it?
Yeah. Setbacks don't crush me as much. Like, I know that I can bounce back and learn from them. I
Hmm.
adapt to change without falling apart. And I think I have like healthy coping strategies, right? Like, whether that's journaling, whether that's exercising, whether that's talking it out, that has really helped me connect and communicate openly with others as well.
To kind of end it on a high note, what would you say
Yeah.
to people that are listening, girls that are listening, the journey that they might be on right now, and they might be having some major transitions in their life? What would you say?
Trust me, I feel like whenever I'm talking or catching up with a friend, they're like, oh, it seems like you're in a transitional period. I'm like, no, this is actually pretty slow for me, but
Yeah.
don't rush the adjustment, I think. I mean, like you said, right? Like a year ago, where was I now to now, like being on a podcast with you now? So it takes months, sometimes years before a new rhythm feels natural. So
Hmm.
I think that accepting that like off balance or uncertainty is part of the process and not a sign of failure. But take it from me firsthand. Like I thought I was failing, and I don't think anybody in my life say I'm failing now.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. And I love that. That's really beautiful. Truly, that was so philosophical. I love it.
Yeah.
By the time this drops, which is going to be in a couple weeks, I'm sure you'll be back online again and all.
So
So, do
exciting.
you want to
Yeah.
share your socials? Do you want to share anything that you're doing that you can share just to, let the people
Yeah,
know?
totally. Instagram and TikTok are just my name, Ceren, CEREN, KALYON. And then in October, we have a few events coming up at the One Hotel in New York, because that's where I'm based. And then in December, we'll be doing Art Basel in Miami. November's TBD for now. But yeah, I'll be at the One Hotel. We have about 3 events. I'm teaching sculpt. So super exciting, always fun.
Yeah,
If you're following me, you can sign up for the link there too.
nice. And then can't they work out with you on ALO Wellness on the app?
They can work out with me on ALO Wellness. Yeah. Just download the ALO Wellness app. And then you can run with me on there. You could go for a walk. I do a guided walk as well. And you can even do like some strength based classes.
Amazing. Yes. And she's awesome. I
Yeah.
would highly recommend
Thank
taking
you,
a
my
class with
girl.
her or going for a run or just even saying hello to her
Yes.
because you're just the best. Thank you so much for being on here.
I would love that. Oh my God. Thank you for having me. When I first met you, I also already thought you had a podcast because you have such a voice that is so inviting. I was like, oh yeah,
Thanks.
I've definitely heard you before. So this just feels like you've been doing it forever.
No, thank you. I mean, there's definitely been some peaks and valleys and I'm learning and that's part of the journey and I love
Yes.
it. But like truly this has been such my what is it called? Not your child. There's a name for it. Whatever, it's fine. But this is like my
I feel like it
baby.
was child, but
Yeah, yeah,
great.
probably. Oh, like not my passion. Well, I guess like a passion
Yeah,
project, you know what I mean? Like I've really, really fallen in love with it.
totally.
So it's only up from here.
Yeah. I love that. It can only go up from here.
Exactly. Well, that's that.